What's up, guys? My name's Codell, and you're listening to the Father's Gospel Podcast. Right now, this is a message for all the young people, all the teenagers out there, and young adults who grew up without dads in the home, who grew up not knowing their fathers, and who may have questions about their fathers and why you don't have a relationship with your father. So, in this video, I'm going to be speaking from the perspective of a father who is going through a custody battle myself and also grew up without a father in my life. And my hope with this video is to encourage you young adults, you teenagers who don't have a dad in the home to seek the truth, whatever it may be. Find out for yourself why your dad's not in the home. So important to get those questions answered. So, myself, like I said, I grew up without a dad. I have very, very, very vague memories of my dad when I was about 3 years old, maybe four. I've talked to him two, maybe three times. Last time I reached out to him was when I had my son. So it's been 8 years ago to let him know. Plus, at that time, I really felt like I needed to have some questions answered for myself because growing up, I love my mom, but she definitely had that kind of modern stereotypical attitude as far as single mothers go, the modern woman goes, very hostile towards men, did not have a high opinion of men, still really doesn't. And so that was just, it was interesting growing up, definitely interesting growing up. I was the only boy in my family. And at times I would definitely take the brunt of the anger from my mom because I was the male. Now, I'm telling you guys this not to hate on my mom because I do love my mom. I don't accept what she did. I don't think it was a good thing, but she's nevertheless my mom, and I don't think she's a bad person. I think she's just a damaged person and a very lost person. So I was raised by my mom, you know, very much a feminist, like what I was kind of just talking about, very hostile towards men. Then I had my three sisters. Then, like I said, I've talked to my dad about three times, right? And growing up, always definitely hungered for my dad to a certain extent. Like I was very angry towards my father, but also wanted my father to be in my life, And I I think it's safe to say that if you're watching this video and you happen to be in a similar situation like the one I'm describing, I'm sure you feel those those same type of feelings. You have that same type of experience where it's this intense love and this intense hate because whether it's your father or your mother, you want them, you want them in your life. You want them to love you and you want them to teach you. So, where I'm going with all this is, that was my life growing up. I grew up single mom, not knowing my dad. My mom telling me that, my dad was a sperm donor, my dad was trash. Just absolute no communication with my dad. And then as I got older and I started getting into relationships myself, I was a very lost person, got in a lot of trouble growing up, did not choose my spouses, my girlfriends wisely, right? So I was dating a lot of crazy women. Like, and I wouldn't even say dating a lot because I've never dated a lot. But the handful of women that I have dated over the years have not been healthy. And after having my son 8 years ago and then being put through this 8-year custody battle for my son with the family courts that is still ongoing, it made me realize that I needed to do a lot of self analysis, like really break down who I am, right? And figure out why I keep ending up in these toxic relationships because now I got a kid, I got my son. And for me, when I first found out that I was having my son, I remember I was sleeping on the couch and me and my ex now, we were still together at the time, and she came and woke me up and she told me she was pregnant, right? And I don't know, didn't even fade me. And so I told her, I was like, okay, that's awesome. I said something along those lines and I went back to sleep. But I remember telling her and telling my mom and telling everyone else that we're having a boy. And I knew we were having a boy, right? Because I know this might sound weird to some of you, but I always tell everyone because I'm just kind of weird like this. Um, I tell people I'm like, God knows that I need a boy. I grew up without my dad, and I want to have that honor and that responsibility of giving a son the guidance and discipline, providing the son with the guidance and discipline that a boy needs to become a man. And that's like really important to me because I've had to teach myself pretty much everything. And in a lot of ways, like I ended up hitting a lot of the stereotypical statistics of not having a dad in the home, being raised by a single mom. Myself, like high school dropout, check. I dropped out ninth grade, right? Felon, check. Didn't go to prison, but got close to going to prison. Got raided back in 2008 for growing, selling weed. Different world back then, right? And always got in trouble at school, all that stuff. And so it's just, it's been, like I said, nothing is more important to me or brings me more honor than getting to provide a son or multiple sons and daughters as well, but really a boy with the guidance and discipline and structure that he needs to become a healthy, stable, like adult, an adult that has a relationship with God, someone that's a good person, someone that I can pass my legacy on and they can build their legacy. So it kills me because now I'm unfortunately repeating history with my son. Like I said, I'm in an 8-year custody battle, right? Because of how crazy the court systems are, I've had to pay thousands upon thousands of dollars, supervised visits, been falsely accused through CPS every time, passed it right. All this craziness, jumped through all these loops. Yet I haven't been able, I've been cleared of all accusations. Yet I haven't been able to see my son in 4 years, and I'm just now jumped through all their loops, all their restrictions that they put in place, where I'm gonna finally be able to start moving forward in court to be able to be back in my son's life. But my son hasn't been able to see me for the last 4 years. And it kills me because what's happening is it's this generational curse, but it's like it's different on how it's being inflicted upon my son, but nevertheless, it's the same result. So, like with me growing up, from everything I've been able to find out, contacting my dad, everything else, like my dad really didn't seem to have an interest of being involved in my life. But then at the same time, I also believe that my mom probably did not make it easy for him because she just wasn't an easy lady to deal with. And then for me, it's history repeating, but I'm not like my father. Like I, I, I've, I've been, like I said, I've been in court for 8 years doing everything I can to be in my son's life. Haven't seen him in 4 years, still moving forward, trying to get this all figured out. And so it's devastating. Like it freaking kills me because nevertheless, I'm failing my son. And the courts are failing my son. His mother is failing our son, my son, our son, and society as a whole has failed the American family. I mean, 40+% of America's children are raised by single moms. And unfortunately, the vast majority of those single moms are choosing to be single moms. So, because we've fed into their delusion, we put them on this pedestal and we've prioritized the single mother's needs above everybody else. And you can never do that with any group. Doesn't matter if it's single moms, single dads, particular race. It doesn't matter. You can never prioritize one group above another because when you do that, you're inevitably going to discriminate against other groups and you're going to cause a lot of problems. And that's what's happened in America with the way we've structured our family courts through things like Title 4D, allowing hearsay and, not going by, not following the Constitution, by protecting parental rights, so on and so on, right? So we're in a mess. And so history is repeating with me and my son. Like I said, different version because I'm still fighting to be there in his life. But with all that said, the reason I'm telling you guys this is because I'm trying to do my part to be a messenger and to help provide solutions and come up with solutions and help get other people's stories out there and help highlight other individuals that are also coming up with solutions to get America's families back in order to protect our parental rights, to protect the rights of our children to be raised by their parents. So, with that said, I want to encourage any teenager out there, any young adult out there that was raised by a single parent and was maybe told their whole entire life that the other parent that wasn't in their life is complete trash. I want you to question that narrative. I want you to research. I want you to find out. Maybe what you're being told is true, but there's a good chance also what you're being told is a lie. And anyone out there who has discovered that they were being lied to about their missing parent and they found out that that parent that wasn't in their life is a phenomenal person and did everything they could to be in their life, I want you to reach out to me. I would love to have you come on the podcast. I would love to interview you and tell your story because it's really important that we highlight these stories. Children that grew up being lied to about their missing parent We need to get this out in the mainstream conscious. We need to get parental alienation in the mainstream conscious. We need to get the everyday American population fully aware of what's going on and how this is absolutely devastating our families and how this has a ripple effect across all of society, because this does affect many other aspects that I won't get into right now. We'll get into that in future episodes. But that's what I got, you guys. I think I want to end it here. Like I said, if you see this video and you're a teenager, you're a young adult, and you have found out that you have been alienated from your from a parent, and you know the truth, please reach out to me. I would love to have you on the show and interview you so you can tell your story. By doing so, you will help bring awareness to this issue, and we can really get our families back in order here in America. I love all of you. God loves all of you. I'm Codell, and thank you so much for listening to the FGP. That's the Father's Gospel Podcast. And before we get out of here, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, and I'm out. God bless, guys. Peace.